Warm greetings, everyone. I'm Shruthi, and I'm going to take you through my story from a student to an entrepreneur. You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. I was born in a middle class family where education was given so much importance. While growing up, my primary focus was to study hard and earn good grades. My parents did everything that they could do so that I could get a stable career in future. One day, I happened to visit my friend's place because I missed some notes in school so that I had to get it done. So I went to her place, and it was the first time that I'm going to her place, and she made me sit in her uh, hall. Suddenly, someone called from inside and she rushed to that room. I followed her, and what I could see was her father was there on the bed, wrapped up in a red blanket. And I got to know that he had an accident a couple of years back, and he was bedridden and paralyzed and bedridden. And for me, the younger me, I when I saw that, it was such a shocking incident for me because I was confined to my home and my school. I never got to see the real struggle of people outside. I could see that she was literally struggling. There was financial struggle. Uh, they were uh, they were trying it very difficult to meet up their daily needs and everything. I was privileged that I did not have to encounter these kind of things at an younger age. But then I felt really bad to see that a, a similar girl, my friend, had an experience where she had to go through a lot even at that younger age. I, at that time, at that point of time, I never valued much about what I had, but then I felt that I should have that gratitude in what all little things that I have. That younger self in me wanted to do something to take my friend out of that situation. I know that I won't be able to do anything sort of medical miracle to bring her father into a walkable uh, position, but then I could do a little bit where I can uplift them from the poverty that they are experiencing, or something similar to that. I just had like vague idea, but then all I know was I have to do something, and later I realized that that is where my interest lies in. I felt really grateful for what all little things that I had in my life, and I started valuing each and little things that I come across. So it was during my graduation that I was trying to find out which career suits me, because all throughout the education process, from school to college, everywhere, my parents were consistently telling me that you have to get a safe and secure job, that because that is where you get settled. So I was in that constant struggle to find out what kind of job I have to do in future, or what kind of career I have to choose, so that I'll get that stable and secure future, along with my personal interest that I have to do something back to the society, something where I can make a change. So in that process, I was in that process where thinking about what I can do and everything. And like all final years in college, I got to sit in an interview, a campus placement. Unfortunately, I got cleared. And then this thing, once when I went for that interview, I did not had that intention that, okay, this is where I'm going to see my future. But then once I got it cleared, that confusion came me, like whether what if I drop this opportunity? What if I don't go to this particular job? Whether I'll get another job? So with whatever it be, I thought I'll just go for the job and see what will happen after that. So I decided to take up the job in a multinational company. I started my career at 21 at McKinsey and Company. Then, as I was working, I realized that that is not where I want to see myself, because I don't see, I am happy. Yeah, okay, I'm happy. I'm getting paid. I have a stable career. I have a social recognition. The people around me are appreciating me that, oh, you got a job even at a younger age. And that is there, but then there was something missing in me. So I could see that something was not fulfilled. My passion is not being followed. Something like that was continuously haunting me. And I decided to resign from my job. So to resign from a job is not an easy task, because you've been enjoying that comfort of being in a job, being in a financial stability, and then all of a sudden you are going to resign that job and getting out without knowing where you are heading to. So in that process, I resigned my job and I came out. And the only thing which kept me going was that desire to do something different, the desire to make some change in the life of people. So after talking to my parents, because they wanted me to get into a government job, just like any other middle class family who see safety and security in a middle class job, they told me you try for government examination. Then I was constantly checking which examination that I have to give, which post I have to give. I decided that I'll try civil services, because that is where I could work with the government machinery and directly serve the people. So I started my civil service preparation with the intention to make a change in the society, with the intention to bring out my dreams blue. It was during my civil services preparation that I realized you don't have to be in the service to make a change. Even at your individual capacity, you can make a change. So as I was reading more about various things, as I was observing various things, I found out that there was something really lacking in education sector. There was a vacuum in the education sector. Students, in between, I got to interact with a lot of students. I was taking classes in between. I used to guide students. And with my experience and my observation skill, I was able to identify that schools lack to instill the confidence in students to take on this new world. So most of the syllabus are not being revised entirely. In this new age, in this golden age where artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, and all these things are being happening around us, we still study the basic theories. We still mug up things, and we just go and write the exam, and we just mug up everything when everything is available online. We just mug up things and we just give our examination to score good marks. What I see is that students need to develop critical analysis. What I see is that students should have that wider perspective where they should be able to know what is happening around them. But all these things were missing in the school curriculum that I want, and I realized that there is that is where I have to do something. Just like I was thinking about what I have to do, whether I have to give up my civil service preparation into this, or I got an idea that there is something lacking in the society, there is something lacking in the economy, that I have to work on it. I thought I was just waiting to find out whether this is right or not, because already I had resigned a job and I'm preparing for an examination. And now, while I was preparing for this examination, that I'm thinking that no, civil services is not where you have to head, where you have to go. You can be something sort of like an entrepreneur, where you can just reach out to more people than a particular department where you will be allotted once you clear the civil services. So I was talking to my parents about my plan that I want to shift from civil services to a totally different arena where I have no gene pool. There is no godfather in business in my family, and with zero financial stability, because I've been preparing and I have exhausted all my savings. So I am with that zero capital, and I'm telling my parents that I want to start something on my own. For my luck, it was the era of COVID, and everywhere it was locked down. And what I could see was everyone on the internet had some kind of talent. There are people started dancing, people started cooking, people started becoming musicians, and there I'm stuck in the lockdown without knowing what to do next. But then I realized that there is an idea I have, an idea that is something that is I can do something in the education sector where I could make some kind of change. But then I do not have the strength to go ahead with that. So I was in that constant struggle whether to go ahead with it with or not. That fear started popping up every single time. That fear of insecurity and uncertainty, that fear of failure. What will happen if I take that step? What will happen if I fail? The society, what will the society tell me, tell about me? That I'm going to I'm shifting from one career after the other, and she started something, she is getting failed and all. So, and most importantly, my parents is highly disappointed, that because they they were happy when I announced that I'm going for civil service examination, and all of a sudden I'm telling that I'm going to wind up that, and I'm going to enter into some other sector. But I was able to capture my fear, and it was my courage to take a step forward so that I will start something on my own. But then all that was in my head was that I have to do something in the education sector, but specifically what to do was my next question. So I understood that there was a vacuum in connecting students to mentors, and it's a digital era, so I can use the online medium to connect with students even across the world. So I started writing down what all things I can do. I'm still an on-school person who uses the book and pen method. So I started writing down all those things, and where I can work on, what all things I can do. And it was a learning process for me, because I was learning each and every single thing. I come from an background, from an economics background, and I have to enter into the marketing sector. I have to learn more about the designing part. So many things I have to study in that entire process. All I had with me was an idea that you could do something in the education sector, where specifically you could connect students to mentors. You can guide them, you can instill them the skills that they need to take off this world, the 21st century skills. And I discussed this once I had a clarity about what I have to do. I started discussing it with a few people, and there were rejections everywhere. So some of my friends who was always positive, supportive, they said that, yeah, only you could do this. They were like, you go ahead. So my family also, my father was not that happy about my decision, but still he doesn't want to discourage me in doing something. That he said, you should not regret anything in future. If this is your choice, take that choice, but you should not regret about it later. So I thought, yeah, I'll take a chance. Well, it is better that it is better than, like, 20 years down the lane, when I look back, I should not regret that I did not do it now. So I thought, yeah, why don't I do it now? And I started mobilizing things which are needed to get things done. And I was able to get to the market. I could see that when I announced this thing, when I announced that it was started small. I started with interactive sessions for students, orientation sessions for students, and where mentors from various fields has come and take classes. So whenever I approach the mentors with this concept, they are ready to come up and talk to the students, and students were also interested in that. Parents were more than happy that they are going to get some kind of exposure outside their particular set of syllabus which is being taught in the school. So it started growing. When I started that it was growing, it was being getting accepted. I thought that, I mean, this is the right time that I have to take this outside. I have to market it. I have to bring it out. So in that process, I got it registered. We got our company registered, and I had a couple of friends who were there with me. I got and I started building a team where we were able to see much beyond what I have started with, because I started with orientation sessions and all those things. But then once it started growing, you have to find out different verticals for it to sustain. So more number of people needed to be in the team, because without delegation, I won't be able to manage anything. I realize that is where I realized something. You won't be able to manage everything on your own. You are not skilled in everything. You will be able to learn certain things. You will be skilled at something. I'm good at leadership. I'm good at managing things and everything, but there are certain areas where I need support. So it is utmost important that you have to delegate things. You cannot run a business all by yourself. You need to delegate things when the point arrives. And we started together, we started the journey. And what I understood in that process was that I did not wait the COVID period to go, or I did not stop my idea from not blooming just because I was confused. I thought that it's the right time to do something. Business is that there is a right time to enter the market. When I identified that there is a vacuum, I decided to do it during that period because everyone was home, everyone was using online medium, so that it's easy for me to connect with people in that during that period. It was a difficult period for every one of us, but then there was a spark, there was a little light that I could explore. I started exploring that light, and I just went with that, and I was able to get that reach. So as time went, we were able to get the company registered. We were able to uh, expand our um, business from expand our reach from a few students to few schools to we were able to capture one market after the other. We were able to reach out to more than 100 plus schools, more than around 200 colleges across India, and we were even able to reach out to students who are outside India, and that's how it is growing. In that process, what I learned was there is a right time to do certain things. You will come up with an idea, you think that okay, I have this idea, I'll do it sometime later, but then if you are not able to act on the right time, you may not be able to capture that at that point of time. You should not wait further. If you have an idea, get onto it, start doing it, so that you will be able to explore more about it. It is a learning process. I learned everything from scratch. It's not that I knew everything about business. It's not that I knew everything about education sector. It was through thorough research. It was through thorough interaction with people outside that I got to understand that this is how things have to be done. These are the things you have to do, such kind of things. From there, from an idea, I was able to see that thing grow. From that idea, which was there in my mind, I was able to inspire quite a few number of teammates, people who came as teammates, and we built something which is uh, good for the society, good for the students. So there are certain things that I learned in this process, which I think it's worthy to share with you. Remember that every idea is an opportunity. So every idea matters. When I came across an idea that there is a vacuum there where I can do something, I started. I had self doubt. I thought whether I won't be able to do it, but then with through my intuition or gut or something, I was able to take forward. So every you can also do the same. If you have an idea, just talk about it, just think thoroughly about it, and you can just develop it. Then always try to come out of your comfort zone without speaking, or it's always better to come out of your comfort zone. It's always better that you interact with people who are outside your circle, who are not of your kind, so that you will get to learn a lot of things. Then self belief does not happen overnight. Fear is a serious game. We come across every time when we want to do something, this fear happens to us. Whether in the beginning stage or whether you are at your best, this fear will definitely attack you. But then, if you believe that if you believe in what you are doing, you will be able to take that forward. And self belief is not something which is built overnight. It takes time for you to develop that. And learning is a process. You will get to learn a lot of things in that process. You learn and unlearn, and there is a first to everything. You will learn you start reading. When you have an idea, just try to read more about it. When you want to do something, try to read and read and read, so that you will get a clear clarity about what you have to do. And while you read, you will be able to talk to people outside about your idea. You will show that excitement to them, and in that way also you will get connected to more people, and that is how you grow. So from an employee who walked into Technopark in 2016, I was able to walk into the same campus in 2022 with an office space in Technopark. So it's a small milestone, but still it is worth sharing, because I started with self doubt. I started whether I'll be able to do it and all kind of fears. But then in that process, we will learn that all these things can be overcome, and we will be able to do something which we wish to do. So this is what I want to tell you, people, that if you have a spark in you, if you think that you can do something, never settle for anything less than exploring what you have in you. You will definitely reach it. There is no problem in following the unconventional. Sometimes you might fail, but definitely you will reach that position.